right, Kristopher, let's take a look at these hacks.
What I've been trying to do, I think what we've done recently is try to recontextualize hacks, you know?
What is a hack?
In the beginning, I was like, we don't do hacks. Okay, yes, they're hack. Some of the stuff can be hacky, but I've always thought hacks were like the things that like nobody would do. That's like, oh, that's kind of clever and weird.
Well,
but nobody's ever going to do it.
The issue is calling it a hack. Like in comedy,
hack
is somebody that's like ripping off somebody else's material.
Yeah.
So when you say it's
or a hack is somebody who's like doesn't actually do it well or the right way.
And now there's life hacks.
Not
it's
life hacks.
But these are...
That's the definition that kind of took over. Is the hack is now like hacking.
Right.
Like cheating the system a little bit. Like hacking, like that kind of coding hacking.
Yeah. Which these are, it looks like just complete... I don't want to say nonsense. I'm not trying to be negative, but these are some outlandish thumbnails.
The thumbnails in general, when you look up hacks,
like this thumbnail here, genius hacks for lazy people, and on the right side you have like a traditional looking hack, which is like a fast food, like all-in-one kind of situation. But on the left you have food all over somebody's face, which would never happen. It's very eye-catching.
I think sometimes we're super goofy with our hacks, but this is... What is this?
What are we watching? All right.
So here's the thing.
This is 2 hours of content, by the way.
2 hours of... I would not put a tape measure in my mouth.
Are we watching this? Should we watch this now?
Wait,
apparently we're watching this.
Oh my goodness.
We're going in. Here we go.
So here's the difference. And not that we're changing the world, not that we're doing,
I think we have...
incredible things. But we've always said we want problem solve stuff to be helpful and relatable and relevant. I think a lot of this is for entertainment. This isn't like do this in your life. I think these people are actually just trying to say, let's have some fun and entertainment.
This is very much entertainment. I mean, the vividness.
To be silly.
Right? It's the colors.
Yes,
it's very
to
much
not take
like
themselves
eye-popping.
too seriously. And that's kind of funny, the world of hacks and DIY solutions and at-home thing is it's become so trendy, so, people play it in so many different ways.
It's monetizable. So if you can find a way to make money on it, you're gonna find a way to make the most money on it.
Yeah, like that, that thumbnail. Glue a toothbrush and a sponge together, and you have this magical device that nobody's actually gonna make. But yeah, like the eraser and match. It's all just about visually provocative things or visually interesting things.
Which even when we do thumbnails,
assemble all this stuff and and here's the thing. People make fun of 5-minute crafts all the time. 5-minute crafts knows exactly who and what they are.
Right.
They are not making this to tell you to do this exact same thing.
No.
I think they are very aware that their stuff is gimmicky and just for the entertainment value, not necessarily for the average daily, person to actually do.
Right. And I don't know, a lot of these do seem like they actually could work, which is the irony of the video that we were just watching, which I'm not sure.
So 5 minutes is crafty. Yeah. Smart. Yeah. But that's what's been really funny is like being not compared, but being in the same realm, being in the same atmosphere as like all these, different creators, different content styles.
I feel like we do a good job though of finding things that aren't strictly hacks. Like, they're actually beneficial.
Yes, and sometimes, I will say, I'll give ourselves some credit. Sometimes we do some wacky things, but I think there's always an aspect of the tipper information that I intend, that I think we intend, to be a thought starter for people, to be like a clever or good or that's helpful, or yes, maybe I should clean my cabinets. It's all to inspire somebody to take action, to do something, to fix their small, life problems.
Which a lot of these, hacks that you do see on the internet, it is, like we were talking about, the entertainment value.
Yeah.
So a lot of these you wouldn't do, but it's interesting to watch somebody do it.
Yeah.
Right? So for somebody to, get super glue and start super gluing things together, you wouldn't probably actually do that, but it is interesting to watch somebody go through the process of figuring something out.
It's so funny. I grew up watching MacGyver. It's so funny to like this career I have now, to like starting, when I was young, like watching MacGyver, and that's what the show was about.
Yeah.
Let me take the toothpick and get out of a jail cell and let me create an explosive out of like 4 things I randomly found in a barn. So So it's really funny that that's like taken hold as like a philosophy for of life for some people, and especially content. You're on YouTube, you're on Instagram, you're on any of these, and you're gonna find a million different of these things, these solutions.
I feel like just the word hack, it's more of like an SEO play where they're just trying to get people to watch the video by enticing them with the word. It's like, hey, like this potentially could be a solution, you know, it potentially could help, but more often than not, it's kind of something just ridiculous.
So this is so funny. I just recently watched a few of the videos, but one of the first things I started doing for She Knows when I started working at sheknows.com is how-to videos.
Right.
So back then, it was like such an SEO play. Everything you put on the internet needed to have like amazing SEO value and searchability and all that. So we were tasked with creating a huge library of every how-to you could think of, you know, kitchen, home, culinary, you know, everything. So it's really been a thing on the internet for as long as searching how to do stuff has existed. And it's funny that it started off as traditional, here's how to do certain things the right way, to now it's transitioned to like hacks. But I think we've been getting back to how to use things the right way, how to do things the right way. Yeah. We've always done hacks here and there, or, you know, the creative, odd solutions. But I think we really have gotten back to, here's the proper way to clean something. Here's the proper way to fix something.
Which we've done a few things, you know, the right or correct way. And people will leave comments saying like, oh my goodness, like I didn't even know that's how you were actually supposed to do that.
Yeah.
Like because nobody reads directions anymore, like the manual.
Yeah, nobody reads the manual anymore. Oh, what's next?
Oh, I think it was just an ad. But we're going on. We're finding more.
Not that
more
I'm
hacks.
saying we're looking for myself, but apparently when you look up
well,
hacks,
maybe that's
I do not show up.
Maybe that's a good thing. We don't want to be known for hacks.
Life hacks. Try life hacks. Let's see what comes up different.
Life hacks. Let's see.
How does one get up there?
I just clear it all. Life.
Life news. Life of luxury.
Life.
Oh, life hacks was actually the top search result.
There it is.
Life, the Eddie Murphy and
what movie
Lawrence.
Is that?
Martin Lawrence. Lawrence Martin, as I almost said. Martin Lawrence.
That wasn't.
J-Lo crying looks so sad. Scroll over to that really quick. This is my problem with YouTube too. I get distracted so easily. Oh, Jennifer Lopez crying is not.
Oh, that's a good thing. That's a good cry. Cries over Ben Affleck's impact on her life.
On her life.
Which I could only assume would be a good thing.
Look at her crying. I never want to see Jennifer Lopez cry again. Oh my gosh. Cute life hacks came up again.
Who's Cute Life Hacks?
She's got 1 million subs.
I don't know.
Click on Cute Life Hacks.
Cute Life Hacks.
Are they just using that lady's face, or does she actually make things? So this is definitely a category of content where it's like the shiny, glittery, like slime.
Is this more of like the ASMR?
Yeah, this is more.
Yeah,
this is definitely for entertainment and just like that visual touch sensory videos. Yeah. So never mind. Not what I thought it was.
Okay.
So life hacks: cleaning a toilet. You wear the toilet seat around your neck. That's
Genius.
clever. How clever.
See,
what is happening? Testing.
Maybe I'm wrong then. I was really hyping up our content in the podcast, talking about how we make, you know, I don't know, entertaining content, but a lot of this looks far more entertaining.
Not come up. Oh no, go down. I think we show up. Oh no, I thought that was my hand. That is not my hand. Apparently, I don't know my own hand on the internet.
You can recognize your hand?
I like my fingertips.
I could pick up my hand in a lineup, which is, I don't know if is that a good or a bad thing.
I was like, the skin tone's about there. Looks like something we may put on the internet. So I don't know. What is that?
Okay, handyman tips. Let's see. These should be, I'm assuming, a little bit more practical.
And here's what's funny. I never imagined in my life that we would get to this, that I would, in my career, would get to this point where like my life was doing how-tos, doing, you know, hosting videos, whatnot. Because it's sometimes funny, you end up somewhere in your life that you didn't really ever expect yourself to be. Like, for the good, maybe, you know. But anyways, what I'm trying to say. Oh, that's kind of clever.
That's not terrible.
That's not terrible. That's not.
That's a great hack. I love it.
That's functional. What I was trying to get to, though, is it's funny that this has now become my career, where I am researching, you know, tips and how-tos. I am sharing the knowledge of things that, like you know, have happened to me, or like you or Strauns, you know, like, oh, how did you fix this, or what do you have going on, and then, you know, we share all that. So it has been a funny trajectory for our jobs. We're like, this is our work. We look up different ways to do. Well, I've seen this. where you put the floorboard back in. Oh, look at that. That was satisfying.
That's pretty good.
That
Yeah,
was
these are all
so
great.
satisfying.
I like
Okay,
that.
these are helpful and useful. I don't know about that.
I'm not sure
I don't
about this
think I would burn my ceiling for some kind of textural. That looks dangerous.
Yeah,
And
I
he's
don't know
just
about that.
breathing that in? I don't think you should be breathing whatever that is. Hope
I
he's
don't
okay.
think that looks good at all. But, to each their own.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. I appreciate the kind of content we make because, like, the information value that it has. Because especially if it's something that it's like, here's the proper way to do something. Like what do people say in the comments? That you're like their dad, or
Oh,
you're like,
yes.
oh, you're like my big brother that I never had. So it's like information that is valuable to be passed on. But where else would you have found it? Like, and this information, well, this specifically is kind of uniquely beneficial. But the previous hack videos we were watching, like, they're hacks that no one would ever realistically ever need to use.
Yeah. I don't know. I think what I've seen, I'm glad that people are putting out content like this. Yes, it may start to become a little overwhelming.
Or the earlier stuff.
No, this
that
stuff.
was super hacky.
This stuff. Because I feel like most of this is kind of
This is
helpful.
pretty practical, yeah.
So if it's practical, helpful, knowledgeable advice, it can be a trick, a hack, or
Right.
a quirky way of doing something. But I feel like for the most part, people
Yeah, like a lot of this stuff makes a lot of sense.
We've gotten to a place where people don't know how to do a lot of stuff themselves. And I'm not saying that I know how to do a lot of stuff either, but one of our philosophies is like stay curious, like teach yourself new things, teach yourself how to do things. So that's really kind of what I'm after, is showing people that they can do more than they think themselves. And gaining that knowledge it's like kind of like the teach a man to fish, lead a horse to water, kind of thing.
Yeah.
If people build the confidence to learn and to figure out how to do stuff on their own, that's going to benefit them in the long term versus always expecting to be able to pay somebody else to do it,
Right.
or just, I think a lot of people just put up with the problem,
Yeah. And
I even do that with some things. I'm like, I'm just going to put up with this thing being broken.
especially
instead of learning how to fix it yourself.
Yeah, learning how to fix it, or I don't know, just going, because there's certain like nagging things that you'll have like in your life where it's just like, oh yeah, my toaster just doesn't work on that last setting.
Yeah.
When you could just easily go, get a new toaster.
Yeah.
Or rather than live with it for years, because the cost of you buying a new toaster, which would be maybe $20.
Yeah.
It's like it's worth it so that you don't have to deal with that same issue.
frustration,
The
yes.
frustration. So it's like that's the weird gray area with hacks, even, because is it worth doing the hack? Or should you just,
Do it the
go
right
about it
way.
and do it like the right way?
Yeah.
And unfortunately, the right way usually involves money. But with a lot of these hacks, you could, potentially make the problem worse. So,
Oh, yeah.
in the long
That's true,
run,
too.
you're going to pay and have, damage done.
I think one of the biggest thing we've learned with hacks is
That's a great tip also, by the way. This is
a
a
good
great
one.
great channel. right here.
Marielle's done that one on our channel, our friend Marielle. I'm bringing up people you may or may not know. But yeah, Marielle's done that tip on problem solved. Anyways, what was I trying to say? I got distracted because I'm actually paying attention to all these. I'm like, this is kind of clever.
No, well, I was
This
just
is
saying
kinda
that the money that you would potentially spend if you were doing a hack that didn't work, as opposed to just spending the money and doing it, the right way.
I remembered what I was going to say. I think what I found a lot about is you can't trust everything you see on the internet. And I think all the videos we create, we try to be very transparent, very upfront. But a lot of these, they make it look easy when it's
Yes.
really not a foolproof, easy
Yes.
thing
Yeah.
to do. Sometimes it depends on the types of materials you have. I think back to, we did a tip about a grocery bag or a produce bag with a knot tied in it. So you have your tomatoes in a bag and there's a knot on it. Here's the solution to untie it easily. It is so specific for that to work.
Yes.
It's not like every time I have a produce bag tied too tight, it's gonna come apart.
Yeah.
So many of these hacks are so nuanced where it's well, it kind of depends
Yeah, it
on
needs
the
to be
types of
this
materials or the way
specific,
you're doing it, or the specific thing you're
a lot
using.
of them kind of remind me more of the bar tricks. Like bar tricks are kind of like these kind of hacks where it's
yes.
it only works if you do it this exact way and you have
Yes.
these exact materials.
These are more like magic tricks, bar tricks, little gimmicky gotchas.
like things like this.
Yes,
Like, are you really
nobody's
going to
actually
use
gonna
an
do
egg carton
that.
for my iPad?
And that's definitely one of my big life philosophies is to your point, it's sometimes it's worth the money to do it correctly, to have it done the right way or to have the right tool.
Like these are super hacky. Which
But they know they're so
You know?
they're so self-aware. 5-minute crafts is not doing this because they're like, oh, look how smart we are. They're like,
Right.
they're like,
Oh,
you
this is
people,
hilarious.
oh my goodness.
No, this is good entertainment. I think that's what this is.
Oh yes, I've seen this. The condiments upside
no.
down.
Which now,
But see, that's one of like the kind of like the gotchas.
'Cause
Things
they
like
make
that, they
ketchup
work, but it
upside
has to
down
be the
already.
right size bottles
Exactly,
in the
yeah.
right size thing for
Right.
it to work.
yeah. Yep.
So,
Yep.
but who's this team? I would love for them to invite me to set for a day. I would just love to know who these people
Oh
are.
my
like,
goodness, that wouldn't work
like
at all.
this lady. I'm like, who are you?
That is
And-
really funny though that they did that.
And can I come just be a fly on the wall for a day? Because I really do love and appreciate these people. They've been around for forever.
I could understand this as like not hacks but crafts.
Yes.
Like when they say 5-minute crafts and people
That's
are
exactly
like, oh,
what it
that's
is.
not
It's a
like
craft.
Yeah, it's like that's not like a hack. It's like, well, it's just something for your kids to do.
Do they have a craft vetting? Like, do they have to make sure you can actually do it in 5 minutes? Or some of these take longer than 5 minutes? That's what I want to know. But I would love for them
I'm sure
to...
there's like like this is easy.
Where are they based? Where is 5 Minutes Craft based? And I want to be invited one day. One day, please invite me. We'll spend a day together having fun at the 5 Minute Craft Studio.
Yeah, life hacks, man.
Wow. Okay.
Let's see here. Visually, of course, these thumbnails are very
a little slow. But see, this is what's funny about the search result for life hacks is usually people aren't looking up hacks to random. They're trying to target
Bam.
something specific.
can't get away from 5-minute crafts.
No, they dominate. They dominate. Yes,
I'm not
that's
sure
satisfying.
what they're going for here.
What is that?
Press down for the next video. Next.
Dude, I love this song.
Yeah, we're.
You know exactly what you're getting if a video uses this song.
Oh, for
Oh,
sure.
no way.
Oh, this is daily fails.
Oh, so
So these are kind of
these
ridiculous.
are supposed to be ridiculous.
Yes. Okay. I like this. I like this idea. But it's still 5-minute crafts. Daily fails is ripping 5-minute craft videos.
Who makes this stuff?
I'm not sure what she's doing here. She's putting newspaper on top of her top shelf.
Yep, I'm into all this.
Okay.
Clean your walls. Yep,
The
with a Swiffer.
microfiber mop. Okay. I've never cleaned my walls before, I will say.
I just started cleaning my walls because I realized they were dusty.
Your door?
Your walls get dusty. I just noticed it.
It must be terrible. if
Your
you have
walls
texture.
are newly painted, so.
Well, these walls are also flat. Which
Oh,
how
yeah,
dust
these-
can you really have on a
Yeah,
flat
it is
wall?
the textured walls.
Like
but
if
still,
you had like off-white walls, you probably have white walls. You just never cleaned them.
it's probably true.
Oh,
You do have to
no.
clean. That is a lot of baking soda. My goodness, from 8 feet in the air.
You've
What was
used
that
more
about?
baking than that. What are you talking
Oh
about?
goodness gracious.
Oh, these are great.
All right, wrap it up.
Well,
Here's the other. So here's what also gets me about, especially like shorts on YouTube for like hacks and stuff, is we draw our one hack out over a minute. We're like, here's all the information.
whoa!
No,
Draw it out.
no, here's what I'm saying. When we do videos, we're like, we're gonna explain how to do one thing for the 60 seconds we're allotted or whatever. These other videos, they're like, here's 20 things you can do in
Oh my
60
God.
seconds.
Yeah.
And I'm like, and sped up.
Yeah.
And they're all, I was like, oh my gosh,
Which I
I'm a
feel
little
like-
overwhelmed.
Yeah, they're definitely expecting
I'm a little
nobody
overwhelmed.
to do those hacks.
I guess so.
We would appreciate if people maybe took the time.
Yeah. I'm like, oh, can we break that up into individual, like, how did you clean that rug versus you just poured a bunch of baking soda on it? Like, I need to know the process.
You played yourself.
So anyways, this is the arena we get to play in. Life hacks.
I love it.
We should do this again sometime.